This week in MXA, episode number 241, we're talking about the new Ducati Desmo450 officially landing here in the USA. We're also looking ahead to the upcoming Ironman National and diving into some more fun topics. Let's get into it. The Ducati has officially been homologated for AMA racing. Antonio Caroli raced that bike at Redbud and at Millville, and he did pretty well on it, scoring inside the top 10 a couple times. Now it is available at dealerships here in the US. It's hard to believe it's already here. I thought they told us it would be end of summer, maybe August sometime, but I didn't expect them to actually follow through on it. When Triumph was bringing out their bikes, it took a little bit longer, especially Stark. When they were bringing in their electric bikes, it took them a lot longer. And for Ducati, they stayed right on time, and Ducati Desmo450 is officially here in the US. MSRP $11,495. So it's the most expensive bike, but not by much in the 450 class, and that's pretty impressive for a small Italian brand. Ducati, one interesting aspect about them, they are half the size of Triumph, and they are also half the size on bike sales, but also employees. But they have such a big exotic name to the Ducati brand that it almost makes it seem like a bigger motorcycle and a bigger brand. So it's interesting. Ducati, new manufacturer. Triumph, new manufacturer. We've been spending a lot of time on the Triumph lately, but right now Ducati time is here. We can't wait to get our hands on one for a long-term test. But if you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check out our first ride video when we spent a couple days in Italy, Faenza, Italy, riding the Ducati Desmo450. That video has almost 300,000 views on YouTube channel, and it was one of my favorite videos of the year so far. So if you haven't seen it, be sure to check that out. Ducati Desmo450 also is on the cover of Motocross Action magazine for the September issue of the magazine. This magazine's jam-packed with bits that sometimes don't end up on video and sometimes don't end up online. You get some extra bonus stuff if you're picking up the magazine and actually holding the article in your hand rather than swiping by it online. So good stuff. Ducati Desmo450, excited to have it here, excited to get it on the track for some long-term testing, for some racing, durability testing, and yeah, hopefully things go well with it and I can race it at some nationals next year. The Ironman National has been on the schedule for the last 11 seasons. It's a relatively new track to the pro motocross schedule compared to some of the other historic venues like Redbud, Budds Creek, Hangtown, and Ironman. Out of those last 11 years, it has hosted the finale of the series 7 different times. This year, the switch up has come because Motocross The Nations is coming back to the USA, and they will be racing at Ironman in Crawfordsville, Indiana, the first weekend of October. So thus, they get an 8-week separation between the National, Motocross The Nations. It makes sense on paper, but it's definitely confusing for fans who are so accustomed to seeing Unadilla being the first weekend after the break, coming after Washougal. Race Day Live will be kicking off at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then the motos will kick off on Peacock at 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m. Eastern time this weekend from Indiana. It's also a welcome back to the SMX Next riders. The young amateurs are coming off of a busy, hot, gnarly week of racing at Loretta's, and they're coming back to the Nationals to race on Friday before the big show. Also, WMX, the Women's Motocross Championship, they are back racing in Indiana, and the exciting thing for them, their first moto is going to be on Friday during Amateur Day, and then their second moto is going to be live on Peacock on Saturday in between the 250 and 450 first motos and second motos. So instead of an intermission, the women's racers will be on the track and they will be shown on Peacock live. Very exciting for the Women's Motocross Championship, and it comes off at a perfect time when women's motocross is doing so well in our industry after a huge week of racing at Loretta's. So cool to see Racing Kyler get the win in the 65cc 10 to 11 limited class. Other girls were also kicking butt out there. It didn't get quite the championship level in the boys classes, but they did do well. Yumina Burning from California, she tied for first place in the 65 7 to 9 championship. The tiebreaker went into the last moto and she ultimately got second, but awesome feat for her. Also in the 85cc 12 to 15 class, Hannah Jamison, she scored a 10th in the final moto of the week in that class. And Lala Turner, she won the women's class going 1-1-1, all 3 motos, sweeping it in the women's division. She also raced in the 250B limited class and she scored a 9th in the final moto. So really impressive weekend for the girls at Loretta's, and showing them that they got what it takes in the boys classes. Racing Kyler, she took the show, winning the championship in that 65cc GC 10 to 11 limited class, and she was the first girl to win a championship in an open class at Loretta's, which means it's traditionally dominated by boys, but she went out and took the cake and took the #1 place. So congratulations to the women there, and also look forward to seeing women on TV in the girls class, WMX, Pro Racing at Ironman this weekend. Also talking about Ironman and Motocross Des Nations coming up, it's an 8-week separation between Motocross The Nations and the Ironman National, but it's only a 2-week separation between the SMX finale in Las Vegas and Ironman Motocross Des Nations. Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton have already said that they're in. Hayden Deegan sounds like he's in as well. So it's not a secure, locked team for Team USA, but it sounds like those will be our 3 representatives, and it's actually very unique. Eli Tomac is widely known to be traveling to KTM next year, switching teams from Yamaha to KTM. Also Chase Sexton switching teams from KTM to Kawasaki. It's not normal that the guys who are switching teams will choose to spend more time on their previous manufacturer and then cut into their break, cut into their time switching teams. But Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton, I think it's only because Team USA and only because Motocross The Nations is racing in the US at Ironman this year, it makes it easier for the teams to go and do it, and also harder for the riders to say no to defending the flag and doing their best for their team on American soil. I think it's a no-brainer. Also, Team MXA, we got Nixon Meineke riding our Yamaha YZ85. He's been doing a long-term test on that bike for us, and he got invited to race the Blue Crew Invitational at Motocross Des Nations. He earned his right through racing the Blue Crew Invitational at Glen Helen. He earned his ticket to Ironman, and the Blue Crew Invitational, they have 65, 85, and 125 classes racing at Ironman. James Ellis, son of Jamie Ellis and Twisted Development, he'll be racing Yamaha YZ65 on Saturday, and then also during intermission, it sounds like the YZ125 class will race on Sunday at Motocross The Nations. So pretty cool. It's going to be fun to see some orange helmets representing out there at Ironman Motocross The Nations. Next up, looking ahead to Ironman this weekend, we have a few riders coming back from injury. Tom Vial and Julien Beaumer, they are all scheduled to be back. Tom Vial crashed at Millville, and Julien Beaumer was also dealing with effects from a crash at High Point. Also, my brother Michael Mosman, he tweaked his ankle mid-moto at Millville and finished through the day, and then retweaked it again at Washougal, trying to ride through an injury, and decided not to race at Washougal, but he is okay back riding, and he's planning to be on the gate this weekend at Ironman to finish the season strong. Also, Dylan Ferrandis, Phoenix Honda rider, missed the last few rounds. He is now recovered and planning. Originally, he was scheduled to go back at Unadilla, take 1 more week off, but it sounds like he will be on the gate. Also, Club MX Yamaha, they told us that Jet Reynolds will be back on the gate this weekend, and also Australian rider Reed Taylor is going to be back for the last 3 rounds as well. So Cooper Webb won't be back until Super Motocross. Jason Anderson won't be back for the rest of the season until he finds a new ride and comes back for Supercross next year. So a couple guys won't be back, but it is going to be nice to have a few of those guys back on the track. In other news, the MXA Fantasy League app is still going strong, and we're hitting it hard for the last 3 rounds of the season. This weekend, Fast House is giving away a $500 shopping spree to the winner of the MXA Fantasy League app at Ironman National. So $500 will get you a lot of gear, some clothes, lots of cool stuff from Fast House. So thanks to them for sponsoring this weekend and the MXA Fantasy League. If you guys haven't downloaded it yet, awesome prizes every weekend. It's free to download the app, free to play. Pick the top 6 riders in each class, and good luck. In last week's video, we talked about the Big Bear Grand Prix, where motocross is taking over the ski resort this August, 2.5 weeks away, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of August. And now we can tell you guys the race has been sold out. If you weren't one of those first 700 riders to get your entry in, unfortunately, you're out of luck this year, but you can still join as a spectator and come and check it all out. Also, if you have already signed up, you can add another class on. Once you see the race schedule posted, it'll be a lot of races on Saturday, amateurs and pros, and even some of the vintage classes. Then on Sunday will be more beginners, novices, and the team race. So if you want to add in more entries, you can still do that. But if you didn't make the initial cut, it was sold out within hours last week, and pretty exciting for motocross. Heading up the mountain to the Big Bear. Josh Fout, of course, is our Big Bear representative, and he showed us off where the track's going to be last week, and we're excited to give you guys updates as the track build progresses and as they get closer and closer to the race. So Big Bear Grand Prix, going to be a ton of fun. Spectators are still welcome. Adding entries are still welcome, but if you missed it, you're just gonna have to come check it out and join us up there racing next year. I'll be racing it. MXA will be racing it in full force, and we're excited to head up the mountain and do some racing on a ski resort. We also got a quick segment with Ryan DeRico on our project GasGas MC85. This is a bike that we'll have a full video of coming soon, but we're working on a build with it. Pro Circuit did the engine, and MX Tech did the suspension, did the rear shock specifically. Check out this video with Ryan DeRico now. One of the fun parts about MXA recently has been the addition of the MXA Mini Wrecking Crew. Ryan DeRico is kind of head in charge of that, and I have fun wrangling the orange helmet mini bike kids as well. Right here we have a GasGas MC85 project bike and race bike that we built for our guy Nixon DeRico, Ryan's son, and it's got the MX Tech National shock on it. Now this is the first time I've ever seen one on an 85 mini bike, and Nixon's been living with it and loving it. You guys might remember MX Tech Suspension. They're out of Illinois, and we went there exactly a year ago to the Redbud National. We toured their factory, got to check out where they make suspension right here in the USA. 8-kit level stuff for customers all around. So what's it been like for Nixon and you, Ryan, living with the National shock on this thing?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, you know, kids these days look good, feel good, ride good. Obviously the look of this shock is just really impressive. See a lot of people staring at it in the pits and just wondering what it is and what it's about. But Nixon's loved it. Honestly, it's been a great educational experience for us as we've got to test a work shock level at a mini bike size, right, of a kid. But it's been amazing. What he's really noticed out of the gate was upon acceleration, not so much I was thinking the braking bumps he would notice first, but acceleration bumps both out of, you know, here at Glen Helen, and especially at Mammoth where we tested it during the race setting, was how much the rear end just stayed on the ground through the chatter. He noticed that right away in comparison to the stock shock. So really noticed that out of the gate. And then the other part from a dad perspective, having to work on the bike, right, is having a singular Allen tool that works both on the compression and the rebound. Yeah. So that makes it pretty nice when you're having to make adjustments at the track. Just one tool gets it all done.
Yeah, so this thing's got all kinds of clickers, high speed, mid speed, low speed, rebound, and they're all adjusted by the same tool. So MX Tech, National shock, high tech information, high tech detail that comes straight here from the USA. Thanks to MX Tech Suspension. Stay tuned for a full test in the upcoming issue of Motocross Action Magazine, and more stuff on this bike coming soon. Other things coming up, Camp Rev is going to Washougal. It's just less than 2 weeks away. Still room to sign up for the Panic Rev camp up at Washougal. I'm bummed I won't be there this year, but lots of great trainers and guys will be up there representing for Panic Rev. So if you want to get in on the action, Panic Rev Christian Motocross Camp is going to Washougal. CampRev.com or panicrev.org, or just at Panic Rev on Instagram. Also some fun news, MXA's Josh Fout and myself are headed to Sweden later this year in October to race the Gotland Grand National. It's a 3-hour enduro race. It might be cold, it might be muddy, it might be snowy, but we're going to be over there on some factory triumphs, and we are super excited. So the Gotland Grand National is one of the biggest races in the world. Thousands of riders join in on the fun. I'm half Swedish. My mom is from Sweden. Jag pratar lite svenska, so I got to work on my Swedish before I go over there, but I'm super excited to go see family and friends and do some racing in Sweden. Even if it's some off-road racing, I think it's going to be a great time. Gotland is a massive island off the coast of Sweden in the Baltic Sea, so we're going to take a ferry over there. We're going to be racing some triumphs. Josh Fout, myself, Trevor Nelson, my wife's coming. It's going to be a lot of fun racing in Sweden. So if you've heard of that race, let us know in the comments. If you're going to be there, let us know in the comments. We're looking forward to that one. But thank you guys for watching This Week in MXA. We just posted our 2026 KX450 tested video. That video is live on our YouTube channel and website. We also posted a very fun video testing a YZ150 versus a KTM 150 built by Pasha. Those videos are on our channel now. More stuff coming soon. We're testing a Pro Circuit Team Green Spec KX250 race bike, and we got new bikes coming down the pipeline. Thank you guys for watching. See you at the track.